Well, it's a beautiful day today. It's about 36 degrees and I'm home from work, and the last of our ice from the ice storm we had the night before last and yesterday morning is starting to finally melt off. It's melting off the house pretty quick. So we had a lot of ice here yesterday. Might throw a picture of that up, but anyway, it's looking a lot better today, and I'm hopeful. Looking at the weather forecast ahead, I think we're about to come out of all of our worst cold weather. The daily highs are going to start going up into the 60s, low 60s, and so hopefully that's it. We won't have any more freezing weather, and I can get out here and work in the driveway a lot more. So we're waiting on some parts for the big Plymouth to come in that I've got ordered, so we haven't forgot about that. We're going to get back on that ASAP. In the meantime, I'm going to deal with this little monster. This is the little Protege I bought. I didn't really do a video on this car because, you know, we've done plenty of the I bought this video, so decided this time around we're just going to kind of do some videos on it, not really make a big production of it. But it's a 2000 Protege, and it looks kind of rough, and it is kind of rough, but runs good. Just mainly had to do the brakes and things like that on it, but I've been using it for my work car for a while now. Just been driving it, especially when it's nasty out. I don't like to get the truck out when it's like that. You can see the truck's not moved. So anyway, here's the thing. It may not really look like it on camera, but we got another nasty smoke-filled interior in here. And you saw already what I did on the last one. The last car, that Ford Focus, had the same thing going on. So what I did with it was I did a partial interior replacement. I did seats and carpet, and that was it. And it smelled a lot better, but it wasn't totally clean smelling afterwards. So this time around I think I'm going to employ a scorched earth approach with this. I'm going to take everything out of this car except the dashboard. I'm going to throw away everything that's possibly cloth in it. It means carpet, seats, headliner, whole 9 yards gone, because this thing has been smoked up. I mean smoked up. The headliner is just filled with smoke residue, I'm sure, and it just has that old nasty smoked up, sweated up, gross smell to it. And I just, you know, the seats are all burned up. You got cigarette burns everywhere, even in the back seat right there's got them. Door panels got them. So so anyway, I can get all this from the junkyard that I patronize over in a certain location. I can get all this real cheap anyway, so it doesn't cost me much money, so I just do that. You know, people say different tips and techniques to get smoke out. Well, some of it may work. If it's a newer car, it may work fine. You may can steam it out, whatever. But something this old, this car's 15 years old, and it's done. It's had this interior's toast. So see, it's got one right there. So this thing is just totally smogged up with smoke. So there's just, to me, at this juncture, there's just no way to get out from under the most of that except just take it out. So that's what we're going to do. So I laughingly tried some of this fabric refreshener from the dollar store because I didn't want to waste too much money for that idea. That's a joke. Don't even expect that to do anything. That lasts about as long as it stays on there without drying up, and then after that, so, anyway, we're going to start on this, and I think one thing I'm going to try this time around, instead of taking my tools and taking this interior out, I think I'm just going to simply cross my arms and blink and okay, back seat, pop it out of these two little receptacles right here at the front, get the seat belts, push through the seat cushion, pull it out, discard. Ain't looking too good, is it? Okay, fold down rear seat. The back part up here. You have two 12mm bolts right here on each side. There's two there, and then you have two 14mm nuts right there. Take all 6 of those fasteners loose and the thing just comes right out. And I would suggest that you may want to wear a mask when you work on this stuff. See all the dust coming off that? Look. Right. Let's get those front seats out. Righty then, front seats. First thing, you're gonna have to get these covers off. Cover over the bolts. So let's see if we can do that. There we go. Nice. Got one there, you got one over here. It's just gonna be the same kind of deal. Just have to get under there with a, may have a screw in it. I don't see one, but try not to break it. So you just have to get yourself one of these little picks. Helps you a whole lot. You may have to come in from the front and look around in there and see what has to be pried up, and you just usually just pop them off. So you should have, I guess they're all there. You should have 4 on each seat. 2 at the front, 2 at the rear, and then you can access those bolts. Those bolts look to be, they look like 14s. See if they are 14s. Yep, they are 14s. So just use your bolt remover of choice and take those out. So what I do on those, when I get ready to take the bolts out, I scoot the seat all the way up forward and take everything on the back loose, and then I go up and scoot the whole thing rearward so I can get to the front ones, because I'd rather do the front ones last, because if you do the front ones first, then seat's kind of liable to maybe kind of tip on you a little bit. So that's the way I do it. I suggest you do the same. See what I mean? Yuck. Yeah, and I think I'd be smelling a dog in here too. Front seat is out. Now, keep in mind there's a small plug right here for the seat belts. So make sure that you unhook that before you go yanking the seat out. I don't know what caused that big hole right there, but anyway, seat's back here. Take a look at this. Catch how dirty brown that is right there on the edge. Okay, there's the console out. It's laying over there, and mine was real easy to get out because normally you have 6 bolts to take out. As you can see over on that housing, you got one up there, one in the center, and then one back here, and that's duplicated on each side, so 6 total. Well, some idiot had already taken out the rear 2 and the front 2, so the only thing left in there was the 2 middle ones, and they couldn't get them out because the seats were in the way. So of course, like any good half-ass mechanic, so-called mechanic, they said, well, it's too hard to figure out now, so we're not going to do it. We'll just leave it like it is. But that's how you get that out. So if you have one of these cars, like my brother has a DX and it does not have a console, I'm going to pick him up on one at the junkyard. It has a console, it doesn't have an armrest. Now, you tell me why in the world Mazda thought it necessary to delete the center armrest on a DX. You got me, but they did. As you can also already see, we got some dirt, and we got some trash, and some receipts, and some treasure, and some kind of unidentified scum right there. If the camera focuses on that. Yeah, there you go. What do you reckon that is? So, there's the gear shift there too, by the way. The gear shift looks like it's got an extension made onto it. That's interesting. But anyway, so we're going to get the console relocated to a safe place in the garage and all that, and then we will commence getting ready to take the carpet out. We're going to have to take the plastic out along the sides. Got these here, these just pop out, and then we'll have to take the seat belts loose on this B pillar on each side, there and there. You may not have to take all of it out, but start taking it out there, and then we'll go from there. But you have to get everything around the edge of the carpet out. And I see, looks like that, well, maybe not. It looks like that carpet may be going up under the edge of that panel right beside the gas pedal, so I hope that's not the case. I hope I can just kind of weasel it out without having to do that. This carpet's shot off, so you can see how bad it looks, so it definitely needs to go away. So, looks like these panels back here are like that one over the fuse box. Looks like it's got one of those silly push connectors where you have to pry it out and then you break it prying it out. You can see that. So right there. It's probably the same over there on that panel. So I guess just do the best you can with it. Continuing along, I got the seat belts disconnected from the floor pan. Just one bolt on each side. Right here you can see this one, what it's looking like. And it's a 17. They weren't in there that tight. As you can see, you can just let these kind of hang here. They don't have to, you don't have to do much with them to keep them out of the way. And the good news is that retractor down there, it doesn't have to come out. So it's really, well, I say that you may actually have to, because we're going to be taking these upper panels off in a little while. So I guess we'll re-look at that when we get to it. But what I'm working on now is just going ahead and getting these plastics out, and I've popped off all those access, those little seal plates, and they just come straight up. You just get your fingers on the edge of them and just kind of start pulling up on them gently, or not so gently. Sometimes you have to put some force into them, but just go straight up with them. They should just pop right out of these little receptacles they clip into. And so these right here, I thought this was going to be a struggle to get these little side panels off right here, but it's not. They're not hard to get off. You just, what you do is, when they're installed in there, you just pull up on them, and when you pull up on them, they sort of get a little bit looser, and you can just work one side of it out, and it just, whole thing just pops right off. So it's pretty simple. That's how you do that. Okay, next step is I'm taking this piece here off, and this is around the edge of the door. This is just wind lace, and it's just a big rubber piece. It's all one piece. You just carefully pull that, and it comes off like that, all in one piece. Just a nice little piece of weather strip, wind lace, whatever you like calling it. That's how you get that off there. All right, well, those little access panels on the sides of the where the console goes in there, finish panels, I guess you could call them. They came right off. Once you take those little clips, you just kind of pry them out. They just come right out. Didn't break anything. So I guess you can see why your car tends to smell bad if you don't keep it very clean. The old cobwebs go in there. The old cobwebs and scum and stuff in there. So, there, yum yum. Don't forget you have a little screw here that you need to take out. This holds your floor mat in. Can you believe that? As bad as this interior is, and it still has a floor mat that actually clips onto that. That's, you never find that normally. Then this will have to come loose. This has got a Phillips head screw right down in there. Just take that out. This housing should come off of this. I think it does. So just take whatever loose garbage you want to take out. Get that out of the way first, and then you can probably start taking this carpet out. Looks like we got some bank receipts and some junk stuff down in there, so we'll get to snoop in that and see what's in that. So that'll be fun. Carpet's out. Same old story. So anyway, get ready to take the headliner out. So these side panels over here, trim panels at the windshield A-pillar, they just pop out. Look at that. You can see the, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I can see the funk residue in there. Oh gosh. Ugh. Just pop those out. They come out pretty easy. Somebody managed to destroy this under seat air duct. So luckily it comes off pretty easy. I think it's just got one of those little push-in clips up there. So I guess I'll get another one of those from the junkyard. I would like to interject a comment here. You know, I watch my buddy, my internet friend Robert Spinner, his videos about the Volvos, and he's mainly concentrates on like 94 on up 850s and some V70s, and the common thread of when he finds these used cars, these used Volvos to fix up and resell, sort of like what I do sometimes, not necessarily on this car, but you know that I do that. Common thread on those is it goes through interesting videos, but it goes through these videos with these cars and he shows all this plastic stuff that's broken on them on the inside. This is broken, that's cracked, that's broken off, this is coming loose, that's coming loose. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I've had plenty of Japanese cars, this Mazda being one of them. I've had an Infiniti, I've had Hondas, I've had Toyotas, I've had many of them, and you do not see broken, brittle plastic in one of these types of cars like you do a Volvo. So I know that everybody likes to say Volvo is such a durable car, and I think a Volvo is a durable car as far as the structure goes. They're well known for crash worthiness, but I think the plastic bits and the rubber bits on those cars and the trim bits suck. They're cheap. I mean, if it's cheap, say it's cheap. There's no way around it. People can rationalize it all they want to, but you cannot get around the fact if you have to go keep replacing all this stuff, find junkyard parts because it's broken and busted, that's cheap. And this car is as old as those cars are, just about. It's a 2000. That truck's a 97. It doesn't have any broken plastic. So I'm going to debate that statement with you forever. Look at all the plastic in this thing I've taken out. I've pried all this stuff off, taken it all off, and not one piece is broken on it. And it has nothing to do with how hot it is outside here, because it gets to be 100 degrees out here too. The weather here is terrible. It's as bad as a lot of other places. So I don't want to hear that. You know, you see, look at the dash. See the dash on this car? As bad as the floor is on it, the messed up it is, ain't no cracks on the dashboard nowhere. This truck, it's the same way. The dash is perfect on it. So, you know, I get sick and tired of hearing this. People say this stuff. They say, well, you know, it's just, the first thing people will say, always to rationalize this, you know how they say it? They say, well, that car was just not maintained very well. It was just abused. Bullshit. It's not that. It's nothing to do with that. It's just because they were made out of some cheap parts, period. End of story. See you guys. Alright, the center panels are off. You just have to unclip the little piece that goes over this. Be careful with it, pretty brittle. I just made a video clip about brittle plastic. That's the only part I've seen in here that was close to breaking. Don't know why that was, but hey, whatever, I guess. So anyway, and that panel is like the lower one. It just kind of slips up and slides off there pretty easy. And then you have a little plastic garnish right here that just slips off. There's one here, one there. Now we're getting ready to take off these oh shit handles, and so you just carefully pry these covers down, and then you got the screws in here. I just use a large Phillips and put it on a large Phillips screw and turn them out. You got 3 of them. Ever wonder why the driver doesn't have an oh shit handle? I guess because he's got the steering that way. Yeah, if you don't think this headliner's not funked up, look at that. Righty then, we're working on taking these side panels off at the rear. pretty easy to get off. You have one of those little push pin things there. Got a push pin thing there, and you got a push pin thing down there. I think there's just 3. So once you do that, you can do what I did with this one. You just kind of work it off the side right here. Wish I could get back further. And then take it out. Like so. Well, there's got a crack in it, so I guess I'll deep six it. Alright, now, looks like the last thing we'll have to do, what's that in there? Is that a rivet? What is that? Yeah. Mazda wasn't crazy about you taking this stuff back out, were they? Looks like the last thing we'll need to do to get the headliner out is the last 2 things. We'll have to take these 2 upper panels off, and then the dome light. You just pop the lens off of it carefully, and I think you got 2 Phillips screws in there, and it unplugs. So let's do that now. Okay, the time has come to get this smogged up headliner out of here and show you what holds this in. It's pretty simple. You have the visors and the visor clip. Of course, you got a visor on each side. You need to take all those screws out. So 1 screw goes in the clip, 2 go in the visor itself. Then you have the dome light, which has got 2 Phillips screws in. I've put those back in and a plug. And then you have a little pop-in clip right here, which you need to pop out. And then you have at the rear, you have the pop-in clip there and a pop-in clip right there. So you need to take those loose, otherwise headliner ain't gonna come out unless you rip it. So now I have the fun task of maneuvering this thing out of here. So see if I can get you set up on the truck over here, or the Plymouth, one or the other. Take it out. Ha 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 ha. And I have no idea whether this is going to come out the front or the rear. Maybe it doesn't come out either. Maybe it came out with the windshield out. Lied. There's 3 little push-in clips at the back. I can't see too good anyway. Woohoo! There it comes. Do this on this side so you can see what's going on here. This thing is stiff. You gotta punch it. I'm assuming that you don't want to have everything up. Funky ass headliner out. Yeah, came out easy. Easy enough. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I don't know how people can smoke. That's what's in your lungs. The heck you reckon that is? Blood? Ugh. Yeah. Phew. So, I guess I'll attempt to fold that up and put it in there with the carpet in the garbage can. Alright, well, headliner extraction complete, and I'm running out of battery. Say down here, battery. So that should really complete the interior dismantling. I'm not going to take the dash out. I've got some decision making to do here overnight, because I'm going to attempt, if the junkyard doesn't pull a fast one on me, and stay closed tomorrow, which they've been known to do. But if not, if I get there, I know a secret location of a Protege with a black interior in it, and I am that close to converting this car to a black interior, just because I can, and because it's cheap. We'll see. Tune in again when we put this thing together. Bye.